Welcome to Angel Air. My name is Anita Mayberry. Thank you so much for tuning in to this exact same moment, time, and place. We are in the beautiful, beautiful state of Florida, the Sunshine State, and next to me I have the lovely Melinda Joy Miller. She is founder of the Shambhala Institute. She is a published author, a sustainable gardener, and a teacher. And today on Angel Air, she is going to let us know about the shamanic gardening, how it came about to her, the teachers that she's had, and just express to us the importance that goes behind all of this. There's a lot of knowledgeable information. And this for our viewers who are tuning in for the first time and learning about shamanic gardening. I have a correct definition that hopefully will resonate with you. So I'm just going to go ahead and read it to our viewers so that way you kind of have a little understanding and a little foundation of where we're going to be rolling with today's taping. Shamanic gardening is a new approach to sustainable gardening developed by Melinda Joy Miller. It blends ancient indigenous cultures with ancient design concepts, energetic balance methods, and psychological principles. So with that being said, lovely Melinda, thank you for being on Angel Air today and the beautiful elements of your beautiful garden and your wonderful home.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness, I'm such an honor. Such an honor. I'm so grateful that you came to visit. It's wonderful.
It's an honor to be here.
Yes, I'm enjoying it immensely.
Absolutely. So my love, I've had the privilege of taking one of your shamanic gardening classes, and there is so much important, valuable information that is in all of what you do. So let our viewers know how it came about with you and what it means to you to be a shamanic gardener.
Oh my goodness. Well, the shaman is in shamanic, and a shaman is a person who really is trained using their senses.
Yes.
Everything we know is from their senses. And what we want to do with the book, The Shamanic Gardening, is really get you closer to your own shaman within you.
Yay!
We all have a little shaman within us. A wise shaman, a compassionate, just beautiful part of ourselves that is a shaman and can take all that we see and all that we feel and really enhance our lives with it.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Sign me up.
Oh my goodness. So shamanic gardening for me began long ago when I was growing up. I grew up on a farm, and there were butterflies, just swirls of butterflies everywhere. And we had everything we needed to eat. So we were totally sustainable. And we had berries, we had fruit, we had nuts. My father was a member of the Nut Growers Association, so he loved nut trees. And he really created a museum of trees, on this farm. And we grew everything. We had sheep, and we had cows and pigs, and we really had of course, vegetable gardens, and so we ate very well. We ate very well, and we were, and I know today that way of eating when I was young has really been with me because I never get sick. I mean, I'm always I feel always very strong. And I feel that today people can't eat what is part of the earth in a way that the plants pull out of the earth what the plant needs to be healthy, and also what the people need from that plant. So I feel that the shamanic gardening is a way to get us back to the backyard into the dinner table, into the breakfast tea, and so everything that is for healthy, and the prevention of not getting colds or knowing how to use herbs. And the other thing with this is having fun and listening to the wind, really hearing the wind and taking a breath and learning how to be one in breath with everything. Now, Grandmother Twyla, who was a wonderful teacher for me, a Seneca elder, and she taught the sacredness of the earth, but she taught about the oneness and being grateful that we are one with every living thing of the circle of life. And so it's a wonderful way to begin your day of being one with the flowers and the trees and the birds and the sun and the moon. Every day, taking time to do that. And that's the shaman part of it.
Yes.
So in the book I have they're just different ways, just different tips. Like even putting yourself so you can always sit in the moonlight. I mean, walk in the moonlight. We can grow our own foods no matter where we are.
I love that concept because, you know, sometimes we don't get a chance to, or, you know, we're in an environment where we think in our minds we can't grow something.
Yes.
But I love how you have alternative methods
Yes.
to squashing that little bug and creating something that's edible. I love it.
It is, and there's 165 plants in here too that are all high nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
High nutrition. The moringa tree is just one of the plants, but no, the moringa tree has all the trace elements. It has all the vitamins and the minerals, and it has enzymes in it, so that when it's a food. When you can have a little moringa, whether it's in your tea or in your salad or your soup, or just crunch on while you're going to work. It's really giving your body what it needs. And that's really what's happening today. The food is not giving us what we need, so we have to grow our own.
That's true.
Hey, we don't have to have a giant garden. We can have a tiny little windowsill in an apartment. We can just have, herbs love to grow anywhere, and they are the nutritious foods. I mean, parsley. I remember thinking, parsley is used for decor on a plate.
Yes.
At a restaurant.
At a restaurant.
But parsley is like moringa. It has so much nutrition in it that we should be crunching on it.
Wow.
All the time. And I know a lot of people, you know, all these foods are easy to grow. Many are so easy to grow. And they all, well, we live in Florida, they all grow here in Florida. So that makes it really nice. But I've talked to people with the moringa tree. They have them in Alaska. I didn't even think they would have anything. Who would know that they have gardens in Alaska? But they do. They do have gardens. Gardens that have the biggest tomatoes and the biggest pumpkins you've ever seen. And they have moringa trees. So it's inspiring, really. So we go from the backyard to the table, but we also go from the backyard to your cosmetics.
Oh, yes, that's right.
You can make skincare. I have calendula flowers growing, and then I make my calendula cream. You can have chamomile and chamomile flowers, and you put that in your cream. You make oils. You make aloe vera, which is right here.
Which we love.
Yes, and you can just pour that right on your face, and you cut it open, and you just take it and just smear it all over your face. You can put it on your hair. You can put it on your arms, on your legs, and it's good for your skin. And so that is the fun, the beauty of really having a real communication relationship with the earth.
I love that.
And the circle of life with the earth, like everything that grows near you, everything. The shamanic gardening has a lot to do with your emotional and mental health. So when we live in gated communities or some house in town, and you live and you look out the window and you look into another house in the city, the urban setting, look into the apartment. Now, what you need is you need to look at a view.
Yes, that's true.
You need to look at something that is organic from the earth. And the Japanese, I love what they did. They would look out into the courtyard, and it would be a little courtyard with a tree and maybe a stone, just very, very minimal. And they would take that whole view, that whole little garden, and they would bring it into the bedroom. And they would have it in the pillows or the fabrics. And the Japanese fabrics with all the flowers and all the leaves and everything they use. So they would bring all that garden into it, maybe on the bedspread or maybe a beautiful painting. And then you feel like you're surrounded with the earth. And we know from research that people who spend time in the earth, they feel there's a kind of healthiness mentally, emotionally. If you want to feel better, you go take a walk on the woods, or you take a walk on the beach.
Yes.
But if you have the ingredients from the beach that grow near the beach, or from the woods that grow near the woods, or from the meadow, you have all the butterflies and the birds from the meadow.
Yes, please.
All of that makes us feel better. So it's all about really making us, we save money because we're growing our own food. We're growing, and having fun with our cosmetics and our hair care with rosemary.
I love rosemary.
I know, and it really makes your hair nice. And then you feel better and you live longer.
Amen.
So there it is. That was my commitment to growing shamanic gardening, to get to your heart and really just have fun with the earth and to learn about it on a deeper level. It's not so much, grandmother would say, it's not so much the name of a plant. It's like the essence of the plant. It's like the essence of the plant and the gift. Everything on the earth has a gift.
It does. It
give.
truly does.
And let's tune into it. Let's tune into it and honor it. Honor the gifts that everyone has, and honor the gifts. We're looking at Gotu Kola growing here. We're looking at the oak tree behind us, and the oak tree. Who doesn't love the oak tree? It just makes you feel strong.
It does.
Just looking at it, and all the birds that fly in and out constantly on the tree. All of that is good chi. It's good energy. And it'll help us to live longer because we feel better longer.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I think it's also a very good point too when you connect with the earth and you connect with the plants and the herbs and the flowers. Everything has its own energy, but it's all connected together.
It is.
It's like really tuning into a radio station and like finding the vibration.
It is tuning
I
in.
understand that it's in English or it's in French or German, whatever nationality, whatever the case is. But then when you understand it, it's like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense.
It does. It does. And I have a little bit of color in the book about color because everything is color coded. When you lose weight, you take a grapefruit. Why do you take a grapefruit? It's yellow. And yellow makes you giggle.
Yes, it
and yellow also makes you cleanse. It's a cleansing color. It's a cleansing, but it's also good for the mind. So if you have colors, if you have yellow all around you in the garden, it makes you feel more joyful. It gives you that. And if you have camellia flowers, or not camellia, chamomile flowers are yellow, and they help your skin and they help your mind. So, it's like learning how everything has a gift that keeps us healthy, doesn't it? We're told, even in the Bible, it says, everything is given to you what you need. And there it is. There it is, the gardens. And I love the Shambhala and a garden. They were called the most beautiful Shambhala place, a garden is a perfection of places for you, for your space, for your inside. And I love that. So I think that the working in the garden and being close to the garden and being close and really close to the earth, allow Mother Earth to heal you and talk to you. And it's just, you're never alone.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's so wonderful.
I know that whenever I've had experiences being younger with my mom, and my mom has a very green thumb, like just getting to get your fingers dirty and wiggle around in the soil. I mean, I was rolling around in it when I was younger. My mom couldn't keep me out of it, but it's like it just feels good and it's refreshing.
Yes.
And I'm grateful for all of your knowledge and your information that you're able to share with us on how to connect with it. And in your book, you describe that, different ways that you can, grow different kinds of, herbs and have that in your daily life and, get used to that energy and being in your body and feeding it that. Like, yes, please, more of that. I think it's awesome.
In researching the book, it was really fascinating to learn about the anthropological, the cultural, historical ways that people use these trees. Like moringa tree was used for oil, for cooking oil, before olive oil.
Wow.
And Cleopatra used the oil, the moringa oil, on her face to make herself beautiful. And so these are ancient herbs that have been on the earth for thousands of years. And not only are the plants been on the earth for thousands of years, growing plants sustainable is really a very conservative way to do things. Really, perhaps using chemicals is just way out.
Yes.
It's not conservative, not traditional at all. Because, long ago, you had to take care of the earth in order to grow your food, and you didn't have a grocery store.
No, you didn't.
Your grocery store was the woods, and you had to take care of the woods. Well, now we are on a planet that we must take care of. So growing some of our own foods or putting herbs and letting some of the plants heal the earth. Not only us, but heal the earth and bring the wildlife into the space is really beautiful. And so I really enjoyed learning what other people did. In Roman times, they used garlic as money.
Really?
Yes! The slaves actually were paid with garlic.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
And they had rosemary. Rosemary was culturally, it's like there's a cultural feel for different plants. And rosemary has always been around for hair care.
Absolutely.
And for beauty. And long ago, I remember hearing that rosemary was even good to get rid of entities in your house.
Really? I know sages.
Any kind of negative vibe that was in your house. You could just, put a little rosemary in a pot and let it boil and let the water go into, the steam go into the air. So the history of the Aztecs, I love this because the history of growing something on a swamp. I mean, look how many swamps there are and lakes there are in America.
Absolutely.
Now, what they did is they made platoons. They made a garden, a floating garden. And they made it, and they stuck together with trees in the swamp, and they would, then they would put mats on top of the water lilies. And as the water lilies they're very strong and they're very tight matted. They destroy rivers.
Oh, wow.
Right here in Florida, they spend millions of dollars getting rid of it. Well, hey, let's take it and make these floating gardens.
Oh, I love that. It's a
So they would
fabulous
take
idea.
all those lilies and they would push them together, put the trees around to keep all that together and intact, and then they would make mats and they would put that on top of the lilies. They would take the dirt from the swamp. Is that easy? I mean, you know, really just dig it up, put it right on the swamp, on top of the mat. There was your garden bed.
Wow, I'm amazed right now.
And they grew all the food they needed. And they had a population of, I don't know, but they had large populations. So they grew enough food, potatoes and corn. They grew enough food for everybody to have enough to eat. That's amazing.
That is amazing.
And look at, we have homeless. Hey, give them something in the lake. It's free, isn't it? I mean, it's not like it's property that you can't use. No, it's another place to use it. And when we go to Disneyland, you can see their floating gardens. They're little pots that actually grow on the garden. And so these things, we can learn a lot from the ancient ways. In the conservation of water, you want to hold the water. Mm-hmm. And Thomas Jefferson actually dug a hole, giant hole, and he put a giant, like a receptacle in there. Wow. And he saved all the water off his roof. And now we have water barrels today. And some people have these cisterns, you know, that are really big boxes that hold water. But there's another way, which I just love. In the sustainable way, it says, tell every drop of water that grows on, that falls on your land, where to go.
Really?
So you want to keep every drop of water that falls on your property and on your garden to stay in your garden. And we do it with water barrels. It's one way. But another man, he researched, and this was in the 18th century, and he researched how we could save the soil and save water from the chemicals that they were already making in England.
Oh my goodness.
So he went to India and he took care of the land, and he's researched for like 20, 30 years. And he came up with an incredible idea of reenacting the forest. So that's what I do here in Florida.
Oh, so fascinating.
And I see this pot that has the lettuce. Mm-hmm. And everything in the house, even every pot and all my big trees, mm-hmm. I dig a ditch and I put logs and limbs and leaves, lots of leaves. And the soil, a plant needs oxygen, mm-hmm. and it needs nutrients, mm-hmm. and it's all there. So you put a lot of leaves so they don't clamp together. You put logs and branches. See, that keeps it all together. That is your reservoir for water.
Oh my God.
Holds water. So you see the pot? Yeah. Well, I'm on the video, we're not showing it. But say the pot was, this is the pot. You fill the hole all the way up to the top. Uh-huh. Maybe 3 or 4 inches from the top with leaves and branches. Then you put a little bit of mulch, uh-huh. because roots love to be in wet mulch. Okay. Then you put this much soil. Wow. This much soil.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. Just need an inch of soil. Wow. And the soil is for, hey, it looks pretty when people look at it, they know it's a garden. But the rest of what's going on to make that grow, yes, is really underneath the ground. Wow. The shamanic sense that you have of when to grow things, or when doesn't a plant like where you put it.
That's very key though, because in my house, it's like I can almost hear like this little chit-chat noise. It's like, I'm not happy here, 2 inches over, or over on the window, yes. And you put it there, and it feels right, because you can feel the energy coming from the plant and saying, that's the spot.
That's
it. Please put me down there, and I'm going to be really happy.
That's absolutely it. Absolutely. So that I think is one of the things that I want people to really communicate. I studied with a lady, Morna Simeone. She was a wonderful, wonderful, powerful medicine woman. And she said that every plant has an internal family also, has a within, and knows how to communicate with you. So, when she said, when you buy a plant, then you take it home, you put it where you think it might be, and then you let it sit there for a few days. And then you go back and say, where do you want to be in my garden? You can take the plant on a tour and say, this is my garden, where do you like to be? And really listen to the plant as the plant communicates to you. It's profoundly healing to have a communication with the earth, isn't it? It's always profoundly healing.
Absolutely. I know that I have about 3 iris plants in 3 different pots, and I was told that they were really hard to keep alive, and I was very nervous, but they were given to me as gifts, so I'm like, okay, I'm being taught a lesson with Mother Earth, and we're gonna see how this rolls. And I sat it there, and they looked okay. They didn't fight with anything that was going on, but they really wanted me to sing to them. And so I would sing to them on a daily basis, and I kid you not,
wow,
they blossomed and bloomed and grew, and it was like that vibration of just connecting with them that, made them so happy. So it was, I could totally relate to that, just being really in tune with the flowers, the gardening, everything. So I just want to say, Melinda, you have so much knowledge, and I say that repeatedly and repetitively because you absolutely do. And if I may have your book, I want to show our viewers what it looks like. This is a shamanic gardening book written by Melinda Joy Miller, and I strongly urge you to purchase a copy of this because it has all the detailed explanations, it has illustrations, it has pictures, it has everything in here on how to get in tune, with your gardening, and a lot of questions that gardeners have, and you've answered. So I think it's an amazing tool for those who are looking to communicate on a more deeper, profound level, and just be in tune with what's here on the planet. I think that's really important.
It is.
It really is, so
it is very important.
Yeah. So Melinda, do you have I know you've got websites with the Shambhala Institute. She's the founder of that, and that is located out in Los Angeles
and here in Florida.
And here in Florida.
Yes.
And if somebody wanted to take a class or a course with you, how do they contact you?
Oh, okay. Well, my email is a very easy one: living environments. Well, be sure it's plural. Living environments at msn.com.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so email me anytime, or just give me a call. 352-638-2617. Yeah, so
that is
thank
beautiful.
you. I love to hear from people.
Yeah, thank you for being on Angel Air today, and I love the ambience
you so much.
With your beautiful garden, your shamanic gardening. I mean, it's just the element with the winds and the air and the water today. You couldn't ask for more. So it's just a pleasure and an honor, and I'm sure you're going to be back on Angel Air, and I can't wait to have you again.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I'm very grateful, very honored that you chose me to come today. It's wonderful.
Absolutely.
It's wonderful. I'm very, very happy.
Thank you. Me too.
Yes. And all of you viewers, do that shamanic gardening.
There you go. Wise words from a wise soul.
There you go.
Well, thank you so much, Angel Air viewers and listeners, for tuning in today. You just never know when, where, or how I'm going to pop in next. Take care, and may you be blessed.